Hey, good morning, Jason. You survived the feast.
Oh, good morning, Kathy. Good to see you. And yes, indeed, I did survive the feast. It was so amazing, so much fun to be able to do that. But yes, it was completely survival. How about you? How did things go for you?
Things were really great. I really love this time of year. I mean, it's just such a good time of year to really take stock of all of the things that you have to be grateful for,
Right.
family, friends, loved ones, the roof over your head, the fact that we live in such a great part of the world, so many things to be grateful for. It's just such a good time of year. And I count my blessings, and then I also kind of look around and see if what else I can do for people to make their lives better. So, I mean, this is just, one of my favorite times of the year.
Well said, Kathy. It's so cool to hear, the things you're saying because yeah, they resonate, with me as well too. And being able to spend time with family. In this case, I got my mother-in-law's side over there, or my wife's side, and then, my family and so forth. So I got to bounce back, but I'm grateful that I have them. It might be a lot of work to bounce back and forth, and a lot of work to pack away a lot of that food, but it's still nonetheless it's a huge blessing. And yeah, being able to do that's a lot of fun. You get to see people that you normally don't see that often, at least in our case. So yeah, that is truly, truly exciting. And I'm telling you, Kathy, I'm just so happy that we can talk today and really kind of understand where we were at just a couple of days ago, right? And how we can move forward. But I have to tell you one thing, and I know I'm switching the subject here from all the blessings and all that. I want others to be able to have their very own blessings and enjoy time with their families too by surviving the bicycle ride. And Kathy,
Good
I just
point.
a couple of days ago, I got on this on the last show, but just a couple of days ago, I'm driving in to work and I see what looked to be, I'm like, is that a bicycle over there? Yeah, it doesn't look like it. It's 5:30 in the morning, so it's pretty dark out. And as I'm passing, another car is coming on towards me, and they get a little spooked, and their flashlight glances onto a person on a bicycle. And listen, I ride bicycles. I love riding bicycles, but you have to be safe while you're doing it. We want to keep everybody as safe as possible. So I'm going to remind everybody again. Now, this person did not have a front light or rear light and wasn't wearing anything reflective whatsoever. I could barely tell they were there. I'm quite shocked that the car didn't actually hit them. So
Wow.
stay safe out there, everybody. And no matter what you're doing, whether you're cycling or whatever, if you're walking or if you're rolling and any other transportation options out there, please, please stay as safe as possible by being visible. Okay. I want you to be able to enjoy the times, whatever you have, whatever you cherish, be able to enjoy those things while being safe. Okay. Remember that,
So
bicycles.
important. It is so important. I mean, nobody wants their holiday season impacted by some sort of injury because they were out doing what we're
Yeah.
recommending. What we're encouraging
Right.
people to do is get outside and walk and bike. But you got to
Absolutely.
remember to be safe when you're doing that, and wear that high vis gear, wear something that's reflective, or have a light on. You gotta do those things so that we can make sure that we are staying as safe as we possibly can. So, we
Absolutely.
we started last week's show with that, and we're just going to remind people again because it's really just that important. And then we did a two-part show. This is our part two of how to shop local this holiday season and ride the bus to do it, because really it's
Sure.
that easy. It's
Yeah.
all of our communities have buses that run through them, and we all have great little shops in our communities. And so
Absolutely.
we're going to point out some that are closer to us than others, and some things to do and how to do it by using the bus.
Absolutely. So, Kathy, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
What do you want to do during this time of the year, right? We
Mm-hmm.
have the holiday season that's already here. We've already enjoyed kind of the first bit of it, and there's still much more to go, right? So, what are some things that you like to do? we tend to forget we have this wonderful transportation system, right? That can help you get to family functions, right?
Yeah, so
Um,
family functions, and there's all kinds of those going on this time of year.
Absolutely. And why not take the bus? I really think the bus is a very viable option that, especially for people who live, within our service area, to be able to hop on the bus and go over to see grandma's house, go over to see the in-laws and so forth. And we want to encourage people, yes, by safely, Beehive is, understand how to do that. We'll talk about that a little later. Really safely go out there and I'll tell you what, traffic accidents during this time of the year too are pretty big. And
Mhm.
there are times where I would have loved to have been able to hop on a bus and really just kind of not have to worry about that kind of stuff, not have to worry about, I don't know about you, but usually when I'm stuffed, I'm not straight, I'm wanting to sleep. Turkey makes you want to go to sleep. And it'd be nice to be able to just hop on a bus and not have to worry about that kind of
Well,
stuff. So
and not to mention that a lot of these holiday get-togethers involve alcoholic beverages. And
sure,
so if you're going to go out and you're going to celebrate in that way, riding the bus is a great way to be able to do that and then not have to worry about driving and getting your car home, because those are
absolutely.
things that, those are not good for anybody if you're driving after
Nope.
you've had a couple at a holiday party someplace.
Sure, absolutely. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, Kathy. It's really important out there. I think a good amount of people out there across this country need to hear that. So, but Kathy, one of the things that I think a lot of people could also benefit from after, when, including myself, maybe a little something, to kind of work off some of that those calories that you took in there. And this time of year, I know it's outside basketball stuff going on. There could be rain, but I'll tell you what. When I learned how to play basketball a long time ago, I can't count the number of hours that I spent playing basketball in the rain with my buddies. So it's possible.
Sure, basketball, get a football, toss that around, a soccer ball,
Yeah,
kick that
sure.
around. I mean, there's just
Yeah,
so much stuff. And really, I mean, who couldn't use a little bit of that exercise and activity out there these
yeah.
days? Because, you know, Halloween is quickly followed by big pies and,
Mhm.
turkey and Christmas cookies and
Oh
all
yeah.
the holiday gatherings with, they all have some sort of nice, tasty treat that goes along with it. So, yeah.
And the bus can get you to a park. There's a park around here somewhere that the bus
Hmm.
can help get you and your buddies to, and be able to get a little exercise out there during
Or
this time of
even
year.
just
So
walking to the bus stop. I mean, those are,
very true.
that's more activity than you would get if you just walked to your driveway and got in your car.
Yep,
So,
absolutely. So we do have another one here, Kathy, that the bus. And this is where I was really kind of hoping that you could jump in here, because you always really word this really well. And that is, the bus can get you to local stores. Okay. And it's important, especially during this time of year, that we should shop as locally as we possibly can, right? So Kathy, I was wondering, we have that little button down, or not a button, but that little slide down. It says, what is the Shop Local Challenge all about in our community here? I don't have a good enough footing
so
to be able to discuss
there's
it.
right. This is a great time of year to shop local, shop small, support your local businesses, because those dollars stay in your community, and so those dollars um, are what really keeps those businesses going, and so keeps them hiring employees, keeps those employers going, and we want to make sure that we're doing that. And so this is a local challenge, local to the Clatsop County area. And I think it's just a fabulous idea, because it's a really great
Yeah,
way for those businesses to have a physical way of seeing that you are intentionally spending your dollars with them. And so this particular challenge is for you to go to your bank and cash in $100 bill. If you don't have $100 bill, then just, however much you have, and change it into $2 bills, so that when you go to shop at your local store, you're spending your money in $2 bills. And if you don't do this, it doesn't, the important part is that you shop at your local stores. But this
Right.
is a great way of physically those stores being able to see that you are intentionally choosing to shop with them instead of going online to Amazon, instead of going to the big box stores. You are shopping to support your local merchants. And those local merchants are the ones that when, the rest of the year when schools are asking for donations, it's those local merchants that are
Hmm.
supporting the schools and those donations, and those school, they support the school athletics, they support all kinds of activities around
Yep.
here.
Goes
And
right back into the
so
community, right?
exactly, all of these dollars just, it helps the big wheel keep going around and around. And so I saw this today. It was actually a challenge by our boss to do this, to spend the $100 locally and do it using this $2 challenge. And I just thought it was perfect. I think it is a perfect way for us to show our support to our local businesses. And
Yeah.
so, get out there and do that shop local challenge. And if you do it with $2 bills, even better.
I couldn't believe that $2 bills were really still in print and that some bank had enough of them to maybe support this challenge. So I might go there just to get the $2 bills and see them before I ship them off to a local entity. So I think that's really cool, Kathy, and I hope there are a lot of people out there that heard this or maybe have seen that challenge some other way and are going to, $100, yes, maybe more, spent here in our local community. So that's a great challenge, and I can't wait to see the effect of that.
Well, and I will just add also that, my backdrop is the shop local this holiday season plaid backdrop, and it's something that you
Oh
might
yeah,
see around. Several of our communities are doing shop plaid events. Some of them they're one-day events. That's Friday, plaid Friday, and some of them it's the whole like a whole week.
sure,
All of our different communities have different types of shopping events going on this weekend. So most of them started today, Friday, and they'll go at least until till Saturday, which is also known as Shop Small Saturday. And
cool,
so check it out. All whether you're in Astoria, you're in Columbia County, there's a Facebook page. We'll drop it in the comments that you can see that it's all about shopping local and the different events going on.
sure,
Tillamook County has all different events going on as well that are, shop local based events. So, it's kind of a really fun back to hometown Main Street events. Cannon Beach has got their shop local events going on, Seaside, all the different local areas. And most of them, or many of them, there's actually a little extra something in it for those customers that shop during those times. And so whether
sure,
that's some sort of special promotion or you get entered into a raffle when you do this, it's like your bonus and your benefits just multiply. It's not only do you get great gifts that are unique, but you get something back for it too,
sure.
which, who doesn't love that?
Oh no, I hear you in that one. But one thing I did want to ask you about the plaid part there and like your
Mhm.
background, that doesn't have anything to do with Spaceballs or Tesla, does it? Plaid is another identifier to a certain speed limit. It's over light speed. It's plaid.
Ah, no, I
No,
didn't know about
it's
that. No, it doesn't have
okay.
anything to
All
do
right.
with that. It's a whole
No, all
different
right.
tie-in. And I can go on and on about that, but I'll take up the whole show about shopping small and Plaid Friday. So plaid comes from all of the different colors being woven together to create the
Oh,
beautiful prints and fabrics, which is symbolic of all of the businesses in your
true.
community coming together, all the different threads and woven together to create the great community that you have. So
That is so much better than anything else that I had brought up. I love that. So,
But
but
back to
hey,
transportation and how you can get to shopping at these local places.
yes, absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again here. Give me a second. Let's see here. And I need to go over there to do that. You should see what we just kind of went through a little bit there, I hope.
Yep.
So again, what do you want to do, right? And lastly, really, there are so many people that during this time of year maybe who picked up an extra job, or those who are already working are much busier, because again, there's just that much shopping, hoping, and especially if you're shopping local, there could be people needing to get to work. So, in this case, again, the bus is an excellent way for an individual to get to work, to commute to work, back and forth, especially those extra shifts that maybe somebody picked up and everything. Let's go ahead and hop on the bus and get to work that way. If you need any help doing it, continue watching this show or call us. Okay, we can definitely help you on the way.
Well, I mean, and it's a great way to get to work, because then you're leaving those parking spots for customers. You're not taking up
That's a good
parking
point.
spots with people that are parked there for 8 hours a day or more sometimes.
Yep.
You leave those parking spots open for customers to come and shop and patronize the business that you're working at. So
absolutely. So Kathy, we have found out now that, right, you can get the bus. So there's a whole lot of things you can go do, countless more things than what we just showed you to get to by riding the bus or alternative modes of transportation. And really, how does one, particularly speaking of the bus, how do you know where and determine to where to catch the bus at, and how to do that?
Right? That's a great question.
Yeah. So one thing, and I want to start with this. Our travel training is a lot more in depth than what I'm going through here now. I did my best to kind of boil it down to some key points. And that's the reason why I'm kind of glad that I start with our transit office in Seaside and our transit center in Astoria, are filled with great, wonderful, and knowledgeable customer service representatives that if there are any questions about transportation, how to get where you need to go, they will definitely be there to be able to answer your questions for you. There's a video of a guy right up there in the top there looking through all of the different schedules that are these offices have and so forth. If you don't have it on your phone, you can get it at one of these transit centers. So go ahead and stop by there and talk to the friendly staff there, especially during this time of year. No one wants to be stressed out trying to find where their bus is at and stuff. By talking to somebody and recenter what is going on for you. And then right here, Kathy, this is a really good little example. If you can see the video starting to play here, it's like we need to look when we're deciding what bus to take, what route to take, and so forth. Maybe someone lives here at the Gateway Apartments, right? Well, our bus, the Route 10 goes right there, right? So you could know by looking at that, hey, I'm right next to a bus stop. I can get from there to go shopping. Maybe you want to go to Safeway or something, or even to the Columbia Veterinary Hospital. You can do those things. And if you look on these maps, it's really cool. What they have online is you can click those little markers and it takes you right to a picture of the actual stop. Okay. And so that's really important to be able to look at. You can kind of see what that stop looks like. It's important for people who are unfamiliar with the area, what it looks like. Maybe, how far away from the curb is it? Maybe you have a wheelchair and you want to see if whether or not it's ADA accessible, which in this case it is. So these are things that people can do if they want to figure out and determine where to catch the bus at. Okay.
That's awesome.
That, Kathy?
That's awesome. And I mean, I think that's a great, those are actually great gift shopping examples. Not everybody on your list wants the same type of things. And so there are things that you could potentially get at Safeway or at Columbia Vet Hospital for people on your list that are pet lovers, or people that, a food gift certificate or gift card would be a good idea for. I mean, there's all different places and stops and things that you can do on your gift shopping list.
Absolutely. And so, Kathy, now that you kind of know where you need to go and you know how to look on the map and the schedule to determine where you catch the bus out and stuff, really, how do you board the bus? So that bus is coming up towards you, right?
Yep.
And you look over here, it's time to catch that bus. Well, you can flag the bus down if you're in between stops, like we talked about earlier, or you just simply wait for your bus at your stop. And then when it pulls up, you board your bus. And, we have this wonderful Token Transit app that we have right now where you can download that on your smartphone and pay for fare that way. You just show the bus driver the little icon on there, and the bus driver will let you on board. Or, hey, we still take good old-fashioned cash, so coin and $1 bills are accepted. And reminder, Kathy, And it's important for people to know that our drivers don't have change. Okay. And especially
Yep.
during this time of year, we want to remind people that because that's this easy item to forget. And you get on the
Yes,
bus and you got a
don't bring that
$10 bill.
$20 bill for
Yeah.
a one bus trip.
Hey, or even the $2 bill, right?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go for that. The bus operator can actually help you too. It's really important to know on how to get on the bus. You see in this video here, this gal is talking to the bus driver and figuring out
Mhm.
maybe she didn't know if she was on the right bus or something. Maybe she needed to ask the bus driver, hey, is this the correct bus I need to get on in order for me to go shopping for my family, right?
I always think it's a good idea just to double check and don't assume,
Absolutely.
because we know all about that assuming thing.
Yep. Absolutely. So I just call them bus drivers, but we bus operators, and they know a whole lot about the bus, and they know a whole lot about their community that they're actually driving that bus in. And so they can help you. They can actually help you in more ways than even just that. I think it's important to recognize that, you might have had a long day of shopping. And I remember back in the days when I used to go to malls. I don't know if anybody ever used to go to malls for shopping. I
Mhm.
test that they did. Some of those malls are long, and you go from one end of the mall to the other end of the mall. And if you're with your mom or family and stuff, there's so many different places where you go to, and you realize you probably walked a couple of miles and your knees are hurt, maybe your back's hurting a little bit, hip or something. It's important to remember that our buses come with lifts.
Yep.
And it makes them ADA compliant for wheelchairs, people with scooters and so forth, but also for anybody who just has that ache in their knee, bad hip, or a bad back. Just
Right.
ask to get on the bus. You can do that, okay? I don't know about you, Kathy, but sometimes, especially after a really long day, if I'm just walking all day long or something, my knees hurt. And
For
it would be really
sure,
nice
for
to be
sure.
able to hop on that lift and get up on the bus.
Well, we don't want that to be a barrier to people riding the bus.
That's right.
They feel like they're
Exactly.
going to be too tired. They won't be able to make those steps at the end of
Yep.
the trip. Well, there's a way around that.
Yep. And this video here too is just reminding you that when you are boarding the bus, some of our steps are kind of steep. So you'll want to make sure that you use your handrails. Okay, use the handrails when you're boarding the bus, people. I've seen some pretty athletic teenagers try to hop on the bus and trip over themselves, and thankfully it was just a little embarrassing moment for them. But
Mhm.
I can tell you one thing. One of the biggest, when I travel train people, when I'm teaching them how to ride the bus, one of the biggest things that when I see how they try to get on the bus without training, most of them never even touch the handrail.
Right.
Got to use the handrail. You want to be safe, use the handrail. And then of course, enjoy the ride. You got people loading up on the bus. Enjoy where you need to go. Let that moment that you're riding the bus, maybe with family or friends or something, you got that bus operator who's driving that bus to the locations where you want to go to, enjoy that time that you're on the bus.
Well,
That's
and
just another opportunity.
Yeah, especially this time of year, you can enjoy that ride and soak up all the light displays all over the place, because that's a
good point.
big deal right now. And there's a lot of places that are having lighting events. And so you could ride the bus to them, or you can watch, anytime that you're riding the bus during this time is, keep an eye on those lighting displays.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll have to do a travel training trip plan for only seeing lights. Maybe that'd be cool if we could do that. Maybe we could try to figure out, hey, where could I go see the best lights? Maybe
that would be fun.
Sure, Kathy. Yes, it would be. But hey, listen, now you're on that bus, right? So now you're out there. Let's say you've gone out, you've had a long day of shopping, you've got your stuff done, you feel really accomplished, you got everyone selected and stuff, you got all the presents that you need to get for all people on your shopping list. You got on the bus, you've enjoyed the time on the bus, and now you got to get off the bus. And getting off the bus is easy, but let's make sure we have some things to understand, okay? So you may have gone to retail shopping, you may have gone to get some food, social services. Hey, look at that, right over there, Kathy, SETD bus. That's where we're at, just right on one side of 9th Street.
Yep.
Okay, in the corner of Marine Drive. And just keep going, right? So you have to pull the stop if you want to be let off prior to any posted stop. So by pulling that stop, you let that driver know that you're ready to be pulled off. And as long as it is in a safe location, the driver will pull over and you get off where you need to go. So that's one way to get off the bus. It's one way to complete your trip. So they see this other person as well too. They see their location coming up. They're going to a retail location. They see, hey, I need to let them know that I'm ready to get off now. Okay, so that the bus driver will understand where they need to stop at. And you know, when you drive, I don't know about you, but sometimes when you drive, I tend to lose, you know, where I'm so focused on, you know, maybe the road over here, as a cyclist over there. I'm really concentrated on the road and I forget, you know, there's big landmarks all over the place. So when you're riding the bus and you're looking at, you need to get off somewhere, wherever it may be, the place that you need to get off is right underneath the Astoria Miller Bridge. So that's a real good way for you to determine that your stop is coming up and for you to start to get ready.
Yep.
Good. Perfect. And safety first, Kathy. I have to admit that sometimes when I ride the bus, I don't think of this. I just get off the bus and I just go. I'm like, oh, there's my destination. I'm off the bus. I gotta go. It's important that when you get off the bus, to be safe.
And it's important because it's not a school bus. So there's no flashing lights that stop traffic. And so especially if you're a younger person and you're used to riding the school bus, and that's, you know, how you've been trained to ride a bus, it's super important to realize that regular buses do not have those flashing lights. They don't stop traffic. So yes, safety first, check both ways before you cross a street, any street, no matter how big or small.
Yes, that is exactly right. Please be safe when you get off the bus. Okay, and then even when the bus is gone, just a little friendly reminder, if you're crossing the road, be sure to look both ways. Be sure to follow the walk light. Oh, gosh, I can't even, you know what the name of that thing is? You know, the light that tells you when to walk. Crossing.
The pedestrian crossing light? I don't know.
There you go. The pedestrian crossing light. I like that. We're going to stick with that right now. Be sure to look and understand what those things are doing. Okay. And then lastly, you know, really through all the things that we've just talked about, you really want to make sure that you know where you're going first. Okay. So in order to get off and your correct destination, you know where you're going. And that just simply means while you're en route, pay attention. Yep. Look where you're going, look for your landmarks and so forth, and you'll be just fine. Kathy, has this ever happened to you before?
Sure has.
Same here.
And I know that, you know, that can really throw your whole day off if you let it. So
yes, absolutely. Yep. I tell you what, when I travel train individuals, I get so many questions about a variety of things. And sometimes, and this is the top 5 questions that I get is this: what if I miss the bus? And actually, to a lot of people, this is the reason why they don't ride the bus, is because they have a certain level of fear as to what happens when they miss the bus. Nobody wants to miss their bus, right? We have plans. We got to get to work. We want to go shopping at the right time. I don't want to miss the bus, but by golly, what if you do? Hey, Kathy, I want to point out, this might look a little weird, but this is actually downtown Seaside, South Columbia Street, and Broadway, and you know, that is the end of the Lewis and Clark Trail, and also known as the Seaside Turnaround. Actually, I like going to when there's storms. One of my favorite things to do when there's storms, I like to go to that turnaround there, really see the waves hit. But anyways, if you miss your bus, Kathy, keep calm, please. Okay, keep calm. There will be another one. All right. There will be another bus that's going to come to that particular spot. What you want to do to figure out when is double check your schedule. Whether or not you're using the paper ones where you fold it open and you look at the schedule, or you look on your smartphone, just double check your schedule that way, okay? I wish our smartphone app was that cool.
Yeah, look at that. And one of the things that I was just going to say is, you know, if you're getting towards the end of the day, you might have to walk from the stop that you thought you were going to catch the bus at. You might have to walk a little bit further to get on a different stop that has more frequent service.
Absolutely. In this case, you know, I don't know if you can tell, maybe she's not stressed out, right? And she realized by double checking the schedule, hey, maybe if I just walk up the road a little bit, maybe I can walk to the next bus. And you know what's really cool is sometimes just right around the corner, there could be maybe a different option, different transportation option. Maybe there's a bike share perhaps in one of the bigger cities and so forth. You just, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll just go ahead and ride the bike to at least part of my destination, park the bike share, and then get on the bus there. So there you go. Get some exercise too. In all cases though, Kathy, it's really important. And again, this is another thing that kind of is an undertone to everything that we're kind of talking about. Is in all cases, be aware of your surroundings and really stay safe while you're trying to figure out what to do. And all these things that we're looking at here, there's so many things that we can get involved with. We can start looking at our phone, looking at the map and the schedule, or even if you have a paper map, you can be looking at that and not focusing on literally what's right in front of you. Step into a manhole. Maybe you can walk off the curb or something, or get tripped by, the sidewalk. You got to be careful. You still got to keep your surroundings.
Yep. Well, Jason, you've just circled us right back around again to how we started off about being safe. And so being safe by being seen and being aware of our surroundings. And so we're got a couple extra little things, and we're gonna wrap it up and let you guys get to riding the bus and shopping local. So here we go. If you don't want to shop here local, hyper local in our small town communities, we have a way for you to get into Portland as well.
Lower Columbia connector routes, check them out. There they are right there. Or we can take the Point bus, the good old faithful Point bus. So
and the Point bus just added some new stops, added a new stop at the Tanasbourne shopping center, and that'll connect to the Tillamook County buses, or you can just shop at the shopping centers there in that area. And I just dated myself by even using that word anymore, because they're really, I mean, what mall are there really? Are there malls? Are there still malls?
I don't think so anymore. I think the malls are gone, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I usually shop here, so I don't know if there's malls someplace else.
That's a good
I'm sure somebody will let us know in the comments if there are,
Please
or
do.
if we've just dated ourselves. But anyway, any questions anybody has?
Yeah, you can definitely go to our contact SETD at our website, which is northwestoregiontransit.org. Or you can call and speak to one of our wonderful customer service representatives at 503-861-7433. And don't forget that all of our services, everything that SETD officers or offers to our community as transportation service, our facilities and our buses, they're all ADA accessible. So if you happen to be in a wheelchair or using a cane or something, feel free, come on the board. We're here for you.
Absolutely. And we're happy to help with anything, any questions that you have. Check out the comments afterwards if you have questions. I'm going to drop some links in there for events and information of all kinds of stuff that's going on in the area. Check them out, get out there, enjoy your local community, get to see some of those lighting events, and you never know. I know Santa's making his rounds and he's going to be there taking requests. So
there you go.
Check it out. We hope you have a great holiday weekend and you enjoyed your feast time, and we will see you right back here again next week, bright and shiny and ready to take your shopping reports.
There you go. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Kathy. Wonderful show. I'm just so excited every week to be able to get a chance to just chat about transportation with you. So
all right. Well,
everybody have a great day.
We'll have to compare Christmas tree notes next week.
That will be great.
See if you got it already or